For greatest glory is not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall. Bravo to our President, Mark Young. Bravo to our VP of Education, Julie Slusher. Bravo to you, the Bodacious Antigua Toastmasters Club. Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmaster, distinguished guests. This evening, I will be roasting our President, Mark Young, our VP of Education, Julie Slusher, and you, the member of the Bodacious Antigua Toastmasters Club. In my presentation, I will also share 4 tips for delivering controversial speeches on topics such as sex, same-sex marriage, sexual orientation, politics, religion, abortion, capital punishment, just to name a few. Bravo to you, the Antigua Toastmasters Club. The birth of our club has its genesis in the burning desire of Mark Young, whom I'm roasting this evening. Mark, you're not, and I will quote C.S. Lewis, unmistakable little man, a creature of petty rake-off, pocketed with petty joke in private, and denied with stainless platitudes in his public utterance. You are not. Mark, you're part of the finest fighting force that Belize and Antigua has ever known. Serving tour after tour of duty in distant, different, and difficult places, including here as president of our Toastmasters Club. Mr. President, for more than 2 years, you held your dream of starting a Toastmasters Club in the island close and dear to your heart. Today, our club is based on your brilliance, but not your birthright. We can clearly see that you're neither a brunette, nor a blonde, nor, even though presidential, bossy. Mark, you're buoyant, you're businesslike, you're brave. You are our president, and I can see from where I'm standing that you're blushing and you're beaming. And I hope that in this moment, your eyes will come blue and blurred with tears of pride and joy after I blurted out these words. You will recall, Mr. President, we held our first meeting at LAD, where patrons were buzzing and busily blabbling, beaming, and beckoning. But our bodacious group had biscuit and tea. It was there, Mr. President, that Julie, your beautiful, bubbly, and boldly wife, blurted out that she would send out email messages to the busy staff at the bank called First Caribbean Bank. Our first meeting, Mr. President, was held at a conference room at VC Bird Airport. The conference room was not a boardroom. It was not a ballroom, nor was it a back room. And I definitely think, Mark and Julie, it was not your basement or your bedroom, as I think that would have been controversial. Mr. President, I'm sure I have mentioned that the boisterous buzzing of your BlackBerry during our meeting would be bizarre. I hope you turn your BlackBerry off, Mr. President. Hey. Busy. Since the chartering of our club, I've given 2 or 3 speeches telling you that you're remarkable. Well, that means you're bodacious. I have said you're dedicated, educated, and intelligent. Well, that means you're brilliant and bright. For me, our meetings are ballistic and bombastic. We have had several speeches from you, some informative, some inspiring, some motivational. But we have had speeches that are controversial. For example, a speech from our esteemed Toastmaster for this evening last week on sex education is primarily the responsibility of parents, not the school. As an example, our distinguished Toastmaster for the evening used words such as vagina, penis, anal sex. vividly and effectively, causing us to ponder if censorship is required. And some might even wonder if we were violating the I dare not say right. Let me state categorically that I'm a strong proponent of freedom of expression. I believe freedom of speech must be exercised with responsibility, and failure to act responsibly will lead to regulation and censorship. I believe if you have a speech that you believe will be controversial, follow these principles. Number one, tailor your speech to fit your audience. Number two, respect the opposing side. Number three, if you're giving facts, get your facts straight. And indeed, expect and accept some negative response. If we fail to conform to these four basic rules for controversial topics, controversy will consume our club like a cancer. Controversy and conflict is part of life, but they are like a cancer that must be cured. The remedy used in Toastmasters to address such cancer, which we call weaknesses or areas for improvement, is effective evaluation. Effective evaluation are helpful and is encouraging. If you fail by now to notice that I have given a speech using rhetorical devices such as alliteration, similes, etc., then if you have not noticed, you're busted. If you did notice, you're brilliant and bright. And if I do make this speech in 5 to 7 minutes, you should think I'm either a boring bastard or I'm brave, bold, and brilliant, but definitely not boastful. Fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests, don't forget that our club and in our president, Mark Young, you're facing the single finest fighting force ever who will aid your growth and development. Our club is a testimony of unity for which you should stand steadfast and face the fire of freedom's front to growth and development. You are not a bellowing gale of bavine thunder. Do not succumb to the share of nurturing nabobs of negativism in our society. Do not be nonchalant. Our club is not a poison if we purge ourselves from prejudices and politics. That is the wall we must tear down in order to grow and develop into what we want to be. If we change our hearts and our minds, it is a first critical step towards growth and development. Fellow Toastmasters, distinguished guests, our greatest glory is not in never falling, but in rising in every time we fall. I ask you to stand, and I ask you to repeat with me at this moment. Please stand. Bravo to our President, Mark Young.
Bravo to our President, Mark Young.
Bravo to our VP of Education, Julie Slusher.
Bravo to our VP of Education, Julie Slusher.
Bravo to you, the Bodacious Antigua Toastmasters Club.
Bravo.